Hi everybody, in this video we are going to solve the equation you see over here, and even though this is not on the midterm, nothing that requires a calculator, I'm going to show it right now so that I could do these videos in sequence from this packet. So if you are interested, just keep watching. So here I have basically something kind of looking like the fourth example, I think it was, that was already a quadratic type. I'm just going to have to get this one equal to 0 first. So I'm going to have 4 tan squared theta plus 5 tan theta. I'm going to subtract that 6 to the left side equals 0. So I have it all equal to one side right there. Now, if you know how to factor, this should not be a problem. I'm not showing the factoring. Okay, I'm using in my head essentially an AC method. Okay, so I'm essentially doing 4 times -6, that's -24. I'm looking for a pair of factors that multiply to give me -24 and add to give me 5. So that's going to be 8 and 3, and I would make the 3 negative. That's my outer, and my inner are 8 and -3 tan theta, both of them. So if I'm going to get 8 tan theta for outer and -3 tan theta for inner, but my first times first has to equal 4 tan squared, and my last times last has to be 6, -6, I will do 4 tan theta and 2. I need it to be positive 8 tan theta, so there I go. Then first times first has to be 4 tan squared, so that's just going to be 1 tan theta. And last times last has to be -6, so that's going to be -3. So my outer is 8 tan theta. My inner is -3 tan theta. That gives me 5 tan theta. This is factored. If you're going to do full AC with grouping, please, 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 if you don't know how, go watch the video. If you do know how, just carry on from here. Now that it's factored, I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. This is using what we call the zero product property. This is a basic algebra technique that you use to typically solve polynomial equations. I'm going to set both of the factors equal to 0. I'm going to solve both of them for tan theta. Tan and cotan are fun to use for factoring problems because there's no rule against like what could be on top or bottom of the fraction, whereas with sine and cosine your top number has to be smaller, and then secant and cosecant your bottom number has to be smaller essentially. Like they could be one like equal to each other, but they can't have like you can't do sine of theta equals 3. That doesn't make any sense because you can't have opposite over hypotenuse 3 over 1. I'm going to add 3 and divide by 4, and since tan and cotan are opposite and adjacent, there's no hypotenuse, there's no rules, right? I'm going to add 3 and divide by 4, that's 3/4. So there's my opposite and adjacent. Again, it doesn't matter which one's on top. And then here, subtract the 2, so tan theta equals -2, which is essentially -2 over 1. Again, that's my opposite over adjacent. Now, where does tan equal 3/4? Now, it doesn't equal 3/4 on the unit circle, but it does equal 3/4 somewhere between 0 and 360, or between 0 and 2 pi. I'm doing degrees, I believe, for this question. Yes, the directions are defined degrees. Now, I need to make a note, though. Tan can equal 3/4 in both of these quadrants. So your calculator will give you one answer. Your brain will have to give you the other answer. Tan will equal -2. Tan is negative here and here. Again, your calculator is going to give you one answer. You have to use that one answer to get the other two answers. And we'll elaborate more on that later on in the unit. But for now, we're going to do like a diet version of all of this. So I'm going to pull a calculator on the screen in a moment, but let me just do one more step. Now, normally you just sort of ask yourself the question, tan of what angle is equal to 3/4? And we're able to do it in our heads. However, when we can't do it in our head, we have to do an extra step. So I'm just going to rewrite this. I'm going to leave a little bit of room like that. And tan of theta equals -2 like that. Now, if I want to get theta alone on each side, these pens keep breaking. Let's see if that's okay. So the way we get rid of it is we use an inverse operation. That's going to be tan inverse. Now, tan inverse to do in your head is what we've been doing, okay? But tan inverse you don't always do in your head because like we see here, these ratios are not tangent ratios from the unit circle, okay? So tan inverse is telling me, hey, you're going to use a calculator. Tan and tan inverse get rid of each other, just like squares and square roots, just like times 2 divide by 2, just like +5 and -5. They are inverse operations. So what is going in the calculator? I'm finding theta by doing tan inverse of 3/4. And like I said, the calculator will only give you one answer, and your brain will have to get the other answer. So I'm going to pull a calculator up. Here's a calculator. Now I have tan over there. I don't think you can see my cursor on the screen, but actually, let me see. I think I could, there you go, getting there. Ah. Come on to the top, please. Okay, I have this. All right, bit large though, right? Yeah. All right, so tan is there, but that's not the tan inverse button. Typically on a calculator, and here you'll see my calculators in degrees, which is what we want for this example. If I want it in radians, the radians should be blue. But to get tan inverse to work, usually I have to hit like a shift key or something like that. So let me see over here. No. Oh, okay. So what I hit on this Desmos calculator, I hit func over there. Sometimes you just hit shift or second. When I hit func, now you see tan inverse is right there. That's the one we want. Okay. So let's move that guy out of the way. All right. So I want to do the tan inverse. So that came up on the screen. And I want to go back to the main. And I want tan inverse of 3 over divided by, right, 4. And then close the parentheses. So I could type a close parenthesis, but I probably could just hit equals also, but I'm going to type it. And if you see, I didn't even enter yet, and it's already telling me the answer. It tells you your answer shows up on this side. So it's 36.9 degrees. That's their answer in quadrant 1. So let me hide the calculator. So we just said, I'll do over here, blue, okay? Theta equals 36.9 degrees. There's one answer. Next, purple. How do I get this answer? This answer is going to have the same reference angle. So all you have to do, because your calculator doesn't give you all of the answers, doesn't rattle them all off for you, you know? So we're going to go back to our calculator. We're going to take our answer that's in quadrant 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do plus, I'm going to do add 180. And right there, 216.9 degrees is my other angle, 216.9 degrees. So, did I shut the calculator off before or no? I don't know. 216, I don't know if I hit the calculator or the arrow, like if it was gone off your screen or not. I have no idea, I don't remember. I wasn't looking at the screen like that. So there is that one. That's in that quadrant. That makes sense. And it should be 36.9 degrees after 180, right? Now, the negative with tan gets a little weird. Some people don't like it, but you'll live. What it's going to do, it's going to give you an answer that's like going clockwise into quadrant 4. And we'll elaborate on why that happens later. So we'll have to kind of loop it around because we want answers between 0 and 360. And it's going to give you a negative answer. I'm just letting you know right now. So we're going to kind of find, let's say, that answer first. So if I go back over to my calculator, right, I'm going to clear out what's here. Okay. I'm going to go back to func. I'm going to hit tan inverse. And I'm going to do the tan inverse of, it was -2. So I'm going to go back to main. I'm going to type, I think the negative and the minus sign are the same on this calculator. So -2, they're not always. Yeah, it looks like it is. And it's already giving me the answer. It's -63.4 degrees. -63.4 degrees. So I don't want an answer that goes this way, -63.4 degrees, right? I need the answer that goes around like that, right? I need to go that way. So how do I get an answer from that the calculator told me? I add 360 degrees to it to add a full loop to get that coterminal angle, right? So I'm going to go back over to the calculator and I'm just going to go ahead and do plus. Oop. I didn't hit plus. Backspace. Back. Plus 360. No. Why isn't it doing it? Get out of here. I hate this. I guess right here. Okay, so 296.6 degrees. So right here, there's that answer. Theta equals 296.6 degrees. So that's in quadrant 4. And then the other answer I need will be in quadrant 2. I used like all the colors already. I guess I'll repeat green. I have this other shade of purple. I guess. It's like slightly different. So theta equals, so how do I get this answer? Well, it's important to know that 63.4 was like the reference angle. So I'm just going to do 180 minus 63.4 because the reference angle is going to be between the x-axis and the terminal side. So I'm going to do 180 minus 63.4. So let's pull back up this guy. And we're going to do 180 minus 63.4, enter, whatever, and that is 116.6, and that right there is my quadrant 2 answer, and tan is negative there, 116.6 degrees. Now if you wanted to check if I took the tan of this or this, I should get -2, and if I took the tan of this or this, I should be getting 3/4. Obviously, I'm rounding, so the 3/4, which is 0.75, might be slightly off, and the -2 might be slightly off, might be like -1.9999, whatever, or 2.01, whatever. But there you go. There's your 4 answers. Bit of a mini crash course, not on the midterm, but for anybody who was curious, a slight light version of how to solve a calculator question. And this one happened to be with degrees. There you go. If you feel smarter and you love it, thumbs it up. If not, thumbs down. Questions, comments, concerns, requests in the comment section, and I will try to take care of that for you. Bye for now.